Cool. Brilliant. Thanks, Elisa. So first of all, I thought we'd introduce who's on the call today. So you've obviously got myself. I'm an active life manager, so I'm Pia Davis. So if you've got any questions or after this, please feel free to ask me anything. Just email me or email the Healthy Lifestyles team and I can get back to you. I will be overseeing and managing Take Part. So yeah, any questions you've got, lead my way. And so I'll just move on to Ryan. So Ryan, do you want to just introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi all. Ryan Edwards. I am a manager in the Healthy Lifestyles team. So I've worked on the Take Part project over the previous years, and it's great to be working with Pia on the festival this year and Elisa. So yeah, very open to kind of any ideas of how people want to use the festival to promote what you do in the city.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ryan. And Elisa, do you want to just introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Elisa, Business Support Officer for the Healthy Lifestyles team, and I'll be supporting with the administration for Take Part.
Brilliant. Elisa. So we've obviously, there's us three on the call, but we've obviously got a lot more in our Healthy Lifestyles team. But if you have any questions today or moving forward, please just feel free to reach out to any of us three and we'll get back to you. So if we move on, so the aims of the webinar. So today it's all about introducing the Take Part Festival and also outlining all the opportunities that you guys can get involved with. And I'll go through that step by step in each slide. We'll also go through how to register, which is obviously the most important thing. And we'll send links after this webinar to say where to register and more information on the registration process as well will be found on our Take Part web pages, which we'll send out to you guys too. And also it is a chance for any of you to answer any questions that you might have for us. As I said before, please feel free just to raise your hand and we'll answer any questions throughout the presentation, but there will be opportunity at the end as well to ask anything you may want to. Brilliant. So on this slide, it's just outlining the different ways that your organisation can be part of Take Part. So we've got 4 different ways, which I will go through in the next slides. But the first way that you guys can be part of Take Part is the Take Part launch event, which is what happened. It's going to be quite similar to what happened last year, where we had a launch event at the level on the 22nd of June. And this basically was a big event to showcase activities that you might have or organisations might want to promote to the city, and it was an opportunity for people to have taster sessions, run health promotions, have stalls, promote their organisations. So that's happening again, but that will be on the 22nd of June, Saturday the 22nd of June, with the intention that we bring people to the level. The next way that you can get involved is the Take Part locals. So we really ideally want to showcase your activities at the Take Part local events, which will take place in the west, north and east of the city, and these will take place between the festival period, which will be from the 22nd of June to the 7th of July, with the intention, as previously said, that the launch event will launch the festival. The idea of these Take Part locals is to bring Take Part to the communities. So we recognise that many people may not be able to attend the level or find it not very accessible. Therefore, with the idea that we're having a west, north and east to try and cover the areas in Brighton and Hove that people might struggle to come to the level to. These won't be as big as the launch festival at the level, but they will be small local Take Part events. So that's the second way you can get involved. The third way that you can get involved in Take Part this year is to do or run try it sessions or try it talks. So these can be any open free taster session that you might already have or be running in your organization, or it could be a talk like an health informational talk or webinar. And the idea that these will run from the 22nd of June to the 7th of July, and it can be any time during that period. It also can be any day, anywhere. We kind of want to spread it as far and wide in Brighton Hove as possible. So with the idea that anyone can access Take Part on their doorstep. But obviously we're trying to get as many organisations to sign up to these try it sessions. I can say that these try it sessions and talks, there are funding to small grants that we will be giving out to those that do apply for a grant, and also those that do a try it session or a talk session. So there will be a slide on that just a little bit later that Ryan will go through to let you guys know how you can access this small grants to run these try it sessions with the intention that they're free, so it's accessible to all. And then the fourth way that's on the slide is for Take Part schools. And this is where we would like, you can advertise your community activities through our network event. So we'll be holding a schools network event on the 23rd of April at Brighton University, where all the a lot of the PE leads in Brighton Hove will come together, and we'll have a marketplace where organisations will have a stall each, and then the PE links or PE leads can then come up to you guys and speak to organisations about what they can offer to schools. The other way in which Take Part schools that you can get involved is in the registration process. You can highlight what you would like to offer to schools, and this will then be sent to all the schools in the summer term. So if they want to then be interested in using your services, they can then contact you directly, because we will have a full list of organisations that would have said they would like to share their information to these school links that we have. Cool, so that is the 4 ways this year that you can get, well, be part of Take Part. But there is also, if you have anything that doesn't cover these 4, that you think doesn't quite fit within these 4, and you have something else that you want to speak to us about, just get in touch. We'd love to hear all your ideas. So if it is something that doesn't quite fit within this 4, or you want to go into detail a bit more, or if you already have an event that you're running within this time frame and want it to be within Take Part, just let us know, and we can always have a chat and see what we can do. Brilliant. Cool, so on this slide I'm just going to go through the Take Part launch event itself, which, as I mentioned, is going to be on the 22nd of June, and it is going to be at the level. So the launch event is your chance to showcase your organisation. Last year we had over 40 different organisations attend this event, all spread all in and around the level, and we're looking for any organisations and groups who want to promote physical activity and healthy lifestyles to get involved, really. It's really your chance to kind of promote your organisation, but also it might be increasing memberships, might be looking to link with different stakeholders, or even collab opportunities as well with different clubs and organisations that will be there. So it's more of a promotional tool to showcase what you offer to those residents in Brighton Hove. So on this slide, we've got, as you can see, we've got the map of what it was last year. So what it will look very similar, might look slightly different. On this map it shows different zones that we used. So we had a healthy lifestyle zone, an exercise zone, a sports zone, skateboarding zone, and we also had the dance stage kind of area with workshops. It will look slightly different because we've obviously got different plans this year, but similar to what last year's map will look like. In this, we had kind of have a go activities and informational stalls. We also had timetabled workshops, and we had a whole event of different performances going on throughout the day. I've got to add as well, we did have a quiet hour, so we brought the festival forward an hour. So we started at 11, and we had from 11 to 12 we had a quiet hour. So there was less noise going in and around the park, and it was a lot more relaxed vibe for those that wanted to attend. And then from 12 we then had noisier dance performances, but we're looking to have that quieter hour back this year as well, which is great. And then just look at my notes if I missed anything. Oh yeah, we do what I would say is, or chance to say is, we obviously are promoting sport and physical activity, but we also are promoting healthy lifestyles. So we are looking this year to have like a healthy lifestyles eating zone. And in the healthy lifestyle zone, we had health trainers, other health professionals of promotions. So it doesn't need to just be sport specific or physical activity specific. It's more that we're kind of encouraging people to lead an active, healthy lifestyle. So that can come in many forms. It doesn't have to just become in taster sessions of running sports. A lot of people had informational stalls, or we had like an active travel zone where it was more informed information. So yeah. In the registration, we'll also ask what space is needed. So we are looking this year to have as many organisations involved as possible. Obviously, we have got the level park, but in the registration, if you do want to be part of Take Part, it will ask how much space you would like to have if you are running a taster session, and other information of such as if you need power, that kind of thing. Brilliant. And then I'm just now going to hand over to Ryan, who's going to speak about the try it sessions and how to get involved in these.
Sure. Thanks, Pia. Does anyone, before I kick off and talk about the try it sessions, does anyone have any questions about the launch event or being involved as an exhibitor on the day? Rich, do you want to come in and with a question?
Yeah. So sorry, just in terms of the launch event, it sounds as though there isn't the opportunity for indoor sports at all, or
yeah, not at the launch event, unfortunately. We have not at the launch event, unfortunately. What we did do is have loads of indoor sessions during the week, and also at these Take Part locals that I will go into more detail about. There is indoor space here to run sessions.
Okay, cool.
Super. Any more questions on the launch event? Okay, I'll move on. So the Take Part Try It sessions are this part of the program is really about sort of showcasing where your activities might take place throughout the year in different locations across Brighton and Hove. So we want to use it as an opportunity to shine a light on those sessions, help people find them each year when we do the consultation and evaluation of Take Part. A lot of what people tell us is actually they discover things they didn't actually know took place in the city. They didn't know that a venue existed, or they didn't know that activity was available. So it's a good chance to promote what you do, and for us to sort of help showcase those opportunities and give people the chance to know that it's kind of a welcoming session for anyone that's not experienced or hasn't tried something before. These would be the first kind of chance to give it a go, try it out. So the Take Part Try It sessions would be for any activities that you want to promote to people in the city, any age, any location, any activity that's kind of physical activity. So that could be anything from gardening through to kind of your more formal fitness sessions, or kind of active volunteering, sort of beach cleans, that kind of stuff. So anything that gets people moving, however you want to enjoy doing that, then we can promote that through the Try It session program. The only things we ask for is that all these activities are suitable for beginners or people that don't have any prior experience. When you're registering any events, we'll ask you some questions about kind of accessibility and what support is available for people that might have different access requirements to take part in your activities. And then we kind of promote that as part of a calendar of events, I say, running across those 2 weeks for people to be able to find and join in. The bookings for any of these activities would be done directly with yourselves. We wouldn't be getting involved in the booking processes. We'd just be sort of helping promote contact details or any kind of booking processes that you might want to run for individual activities. Some of the requirements are that we ask that they're free at the point of access. We want to ensure that it's a good opportunity for people to try something. and you can either provide them face-to-face or they could be online classes. So we know there's a lot of appetite for online classes still. So if you run any digital online activity sessions, you can also promote those through the festival. We know that sort of feedback we get from clubs and groups, obviously we're really aware of the sort of the impact of the cost of living and kind of the effect that's having on local sports organisations and providers. So we've included like a grants program, which I'll talk a little bit more about. But if that's something that might hold you back in terms of costs of sort of additional instructor costs or venue costs to open it up to new people during the TAKEPART Festival, we've got some small grants that can help you do that, which I'll talk about a little bit later. And then alongside the TAKEPART Try It sessions program, you can also include talks. So we're aware that some organisations might want to kind of host information sort of events or kind of showcase pieces of work or use the festival to start a conversation about things that they're planning or wanting to try out in the city, or sharing some good practice or talk about projects and initiatives that they've got going on. So if that's something that you would like to do and you want to use the festival to engage with people about that, and it's got like a sport or physical activity related theme, then you can include the TAKEPART talks. So in previous years we've had very good webinars that have kind of been talking about sea swimming, which Lauren on the call was involved with before, that brought a lot of people together around that. So similar kind of initiatives can be included within the festival. So does anyone have any questions about including advertising, try it sessions or talks within the festival? As I say, we will help kind of promote those. If you're looking to engage with particular groups of people in the city to support your activities, then we will help sort of promote those and any specific opportunities for different groups through to people that our team work with, or other council services that are able to promote and promote them too. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, then do come in, or you can ask them at the end of the session.
Brilliant, thanks, Ryan. So now I'm just going to briefly talk about the third way you can get involved, and that is the TAKEPART locals. So as I said previously, the aim is to bring TAKEPART to the communities across the city. We do recognise that people might not come to the level, and also it might be very difficult to come to the level. So therefore these TAKEPART local events were to try and negate that and bring TAKEPART to local communities. At the moment, what we're looking to have is a west, north and east TAKEPART local. One will be in Hangleton, one will be in Carden Park, and the other in Whitehawk. We are working with community groups and community centres at the moment to make sure that that event runs smoothly, and also we're working with community to make it more sustainable after TAKEPART, so that people keep coming back to sessions that they will be running. It will run between the 22nd of June to the 7th of July. So we're just confirming these dates, but it will run within this 2-week festival period. It won't be on the 22nd of June because that will be our launch event, but it will be within that festival from the 22nd to the 7th of July. So if you, where you can get involved is if you are looking to tap into these communities, especially if it is in Hangleton, in Carden Park or in Whitehawk, please in the registration just tick box to say that you would like to be involved, and this way that we can see if we can promote your activities here. So we would love you to run like a free taster session or event and promote your organisation at these TAKEPART locals. That is the TAKEPART locals. Does anyone have any questions? I think someone's just yes, that we are looking to aim. Lauren's just asked in the chat if the 3 local events will be held at the weekend. Yes, at the moment we are looking to aim them to be at the weekend, because it won't be It'll still be within school time, so, and it is looking to be more family events, these are, because we're looking for it to be within the community, and they are looking to be on the Saturday and Sundays, on the 30th, 29th, 30th, and the 6th and 7th of July. We're trying to, at the moment, avoid that 23rd Sunday, but as I said, they will be held within those 2 weeks, and we'll promote it within our 2-week festival, these Take Part locals. So we're trying to engage people to come to these. They can obviously come to Take Part launch event as well. We're not stopping people from doing everything. It's just we're trying to engage the communities in these areas too. Brilliant. Does anyone else have any questions about Take Part locals before I move on to the final way you can get involved in Take Part? No. Brilliant. Cool. So in this slide, I'm just going to go through the Take Part schools offer, which we have done when Take Part's been around for years. So like annually, we will be holding another new network event, and this is designed to support collaboration between local authority providers and schools in the city. So this event will take place on April 23rd at Brighton University at 3:30 till 4:30. In this event, you'll have informational table that it'll become like a marketplace event, so it gives opportunities for PE leads who will be at this meeting to then come and speak to you guys and see what you offer and how you can help and work together within schools. So yeah, as I said, it will be attended by local school staff but obviously focusing on organising PE and activities in school. The network event would also be a chance to just see Brighton Uni, because obviously they've got some new facilities going on over there, with they're obviously starting in September with the new cohort of students coming from Eastbourne. So again, it is a chance to see what new facilities will be happening in Brighton Hove, or new facilities that we've got in Brighton Hove. So again, I'll just reiterate that's on the 23rd of April. So again, on the registration, if you want to be involved in that, just tick that. And then another way that you guys can get involved in the schools programme is by sharing details of activities participating organisations would like to offer to schools. So these can be taster sessions, or it could be opportunities to attend events that you might be organising. And what we do is, again, in the registration, if you'd like this, you go through this registration, and what we do is we send this list with your contact details to the schools, and then they can contact you directly if they would like to use your service, or like to or interested in some of the activities that you might be running. But again, it is an opt-in and opt-out in the registration form. You don't have to do all of these things. You tick what you would like to be involved in, and then we can go from there. So that's the schools offer. Any questions on the schools offer? No. Brilliant. And then I'm just going to, so they're the 4 offers, but I'm just going to hand back to Ryan, because we'll just go over if there's something else that doesn't quite fit within these 4. We'd obviously love to hear from you. So Ryan, do you want to just go over this slide?
Yeah, sure. So we want to promote anything that's kind of about encouraging and supporting people to take part in physical activity and sport. So if you've got any ideas that you'd like to try, or sort of we're more than happy to kind of have conversations about how we can incorporate those into the festival. In previous years, we've worked with friends of groups in parks that have created their own events that we've advertised. We've also done sort of play streets where people have groups of residents have been interested in closing their street and holding and running activities on the street as well. And there's lots of programs out there where you can get support to kind of do that. So yeah, there's been kind of charity activities and things like that have cycle rides and different bits and pieces that have all been part of the festival. So if anyone's got any ideas and thinks I'd like to try that, or that links with the Take Part and what and active living, and you'd like to have a conversation, then let us know. There's an opportunity to just put that down in the registration form, and we can follow that up with a conversation, or you can just contact contact our team, speak to Peer, and let us know what you're thinking, and we can do that. So yeah, if you have any venues, you want to have an open day at your venue or anything like that, then we can all advertise those through the festival. So yeah, there's be creative. Any ideas, would be very much willing to support you as best we can around those. And then I was going to also then talk about the grant scheme. So as I mentioned around the Try It sessions, to support organisations participate in the festival, we're offering some small grants. So there are not large amounts of money, but we hope that they're enough to sort of help support some kind of activities within the festival to enable you to run a taste session or put on some additional opportunities for people in the city as part of Take Part. It might be about trying an opportunity to reach different groups in the city that you'd be keen to work with or start working with, and use the festival as an opportunity to sense check appetite for that. There's a limited number of grants available, so it's a maximum of 30, and we'll award those on a first come first served basis. So if you're interested and a grant would be important to you, being able to get involved, then we recommend you putting your application in ASAP. And just, yeah, in terms of being eligible, you just need to be a not-for-profit organisation, and you would be needing to provide at least one activity within the Take Part, Try It and Talks programme. Does anyone have any questions about the grants or any opportunities to do something else within the festival at this stage? If you're interested in the grant scheme, it's part of the registration form, and you can just tick to let us know if you're interested in the grants and also what you'd be looking to use that funding for, and to create the activity.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ben.
Cool. So they're all the ways that you can get involved in Take Part this year, which is really exciting. What I'll go on to now is basically the registration process and how we'd love you guys to register, and the next steps. So this slide I'm just going through the registration. Please complete the registration by the 29th of March. So it's open from today, and also we'll send out to everyone where you can register. So the link, and also our website pages will have the link on it. So all information can be found on our Take Part website. Also, final details. So as Ryan mentioned, we would love people to do Try It sessions and talks, but obviously part of this you will provide a little bit more detail so that we can really properly promote these, and these final details will be needed by the 5th of April, and part of that will be risk assessments, and other details of where exactly and timings and that kind of thing, so that we can really pull together and promote your event during the 2-week festival. So that's next steps. What I'll go into now is how to register. So again, as I mentioned, there's an online on our online website. The link is there, and it's live from today. So please feel free to do that anytime between now and the 29th of March. We will be asking in that for your public liability insurance, a copy of safeguarding policies, and also risk assessment of your activities. And there will be some other information that we'll be asking during this period as well. But if you are interested in register, please just feel free to go and do that. And as of today, you can go register. Also, for more information, just go to our web pages. But if our web pages doesn't have what the answers that you're looking for, please feel free just to contact us directly, and we can give you a very quick response for you if I've got any queries before registering. Brilliant. Anyone got any questions about how to register, or questions about the registration process itself? No. Brilliant. Well, the registration will take about 10 to 15 minutes to complete, so it's not too long. But we will ask obviously questions, and from there you can select what you'd like to do. Obviously, if you want to do everything, do all 4 ways that you can get involved, brilliant. But if you just have capacity to do one, then again, that's brilliant. On the registration, it's very clear what process you can go through, and you tick box what you'd like to get involved with. Brilliant. So Now I will just go through the timeline that will just reiterate exactly what we've gone through today. So in terms of timeline, we'd love you to complete the registration form and provide documents from today until the 29th of March. And then, as I mentioned, if you are doing like a try it session or a talk session, you will then have to until April 5th just to fill out this further document, this further information form. And again, that's just more clarity on what activities you want to offer and risk assessment so that we can really properly promote it as much in that 2-week period as possible. And then 23rd of April is when the Take Part Schools Network event will happen. And again, this will be at Brighton University and will run from 3:30 till 4:30. So if you'd like to get involved in that, that will be April 23rd. The next key date is June 22nd, which will then be our launch event. And this will be from 11 till 5, not 12 till 5, because we're going to have a quiet hour again and reintroduce that. And that will be at the level. Then from the 22nd to the 7th of July, we will then have all of the festival programs. So all these try it sessions and talks will run during this period and we'll promote these throughout the 2-week festival. And as I said, you can offer anything you want during that 2-week festival. Can be evenings, can be mornings, can be in the day, and it can be any location. We really want to spread this as far and wide in Brighton Hove City as possible. And then finally, in June and July, which from the 22nd to the 7th of July, we will be running these Take Part local events and looking to run them in the west, north and east. So that will be within these 2-week period. So these are the key dates that we've got for Take Part. I think the most important thing to say is obviously the June 22nd to the July 7th will be the main festival 2-week period. Any questions on the timeline or dates or anything that doesn't quite make sense or we want more clarity on? No? Brilliant. Okay. So, yes, Lauren.
Sorry, it's just a quick question about the grants. Is there any information on like a web page about that, or is it just as you go through the application process?
There's a registration guide, and in the registration guide there's more information on the grants, but there is also more information on the grants in the registration document itself as well. And if it doesn't cover in both of those, just feel free to have a chat with us and ask us if you've got any questions.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Thanks, Lauren. Okay, so next steps for you guys really is to consider if you want to be involved in Take Part, and if so, how, and promoting your activities and how you'd like to engage through the festival. As I said as well, we are more than happy to have any chats with everyone. So if you have got any questions before registering or while registering, or if you have got an idea for something else that doesn't quite fit within these 4 ways that you can get involved, please feel free to contact any of us and we'll get back to you. We're more than happy to have a chat or set up a meeting to discuss anything that you might have ideas or concerns about, and as Lauren mentioned specifically as well about the grants, more than happy to discuss and chat through more. And then finally, next steps as well, please just complete your application form by the 5th of April if you're doing a try it and talk session, and the 29th of March if you're not doing that, but for everything else. We had over 40 organisations take part in the Take Part level event last year, and we're obviously looking to have even more this year. And we had a number of organisations running within the week last year, but we've obviously extended it 2 weeks this year with the intention that we're trying to reach as many individuals and residents as possible. Brilliant. Last page is more just about contacting us. So we will send this information out after this webinar, but again, please just search our website links. Please just email the Healthy Lifestyles team that you've been sent this webinar through. We're more than happy to chat. Also, you can give us a call, and also we do have our Facebook as well. So if we want to look at anything that we might be doing up until now, until the festival, or any other projects we'll be working on, just look at our Facebook and you'll be able to see what we're doing as a team, as a Healthy Lifestyles team there. So that's contact us. So that's majority of the webinar now, but if anyone's got any questions, please feel free to ask away.
I just ask, in terms of space that we would have, is that dependent on our application? Is that sort of allocated once applications are in to see what you can squeeze in?
Yeah, that's exactly how it will work. I mean, if we did manage to squeeze in majority of what people wanted last year, to be honest. If we have an influx of loads of people wanting to run the taster sessions within the level, what we have done previously or previous years is kind of have a schedule. So we'd have a pitch, a sports pitch, and then for example, one organisation will have 2 hours, the next organisation will have 2 hours from there, and we'll have a set up schedule, but you'd still have a stall area during that time, and it might just be a smaller area where you can still do pop-up taster. But as terms of like a bigger sports, like a bigger field, we have done schedules in the past. Last year we managed to fit everyone in without having to do a schedule, but we are looking to have even more organisations than last year, because last year was kind of we're coming back from COVID. We hadn't done it for 2-3 years, and now we're trying to make it and reach as many people as possible. So that's kind of the process of how we organise the space. But what I would encourage you to do in the registration process is just say what you'd like, and then we can always come back to you saying yes, that's possible, or how that is possible. I'd rather everyone say what they would like and what they would ideally need, than on the day say this isn't enough space, kind of thing.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Does anyone else have any more questions about TakePart this year, or the registration process, or grants? No, brilliant. Okay. Well, what we will do is send out all this information to you tomorrow regarding saying how to register, the web pages, the website, the registration link, how to get in touch with us, and we will also be sending this presentation out to you guys for your reference, and also the recording will go up on our YouTube. So if you have forgotten anything or you want to look back at that, that's where you can find all the information. And as I said, if you've suddenly remember something in 10 minutes time, just give us an email. We will always get back to you on anything TakePart related. Brilliant. Ryan or Lisa, do you have anything to say before we close up?
No, nothing further. Just obviously looking forward to a good summer. It's a great opportunity to sort of bring everyone that's involved in sort of putting on sport and physical activity across the city together, and sort of often we're doing all things in somewhat isolation in community halls and sort of sports centres and stuff across the city, and it's a good chance to bring the community together and really showcase kind of the breadth of opportunities there are in Brighton and Hove. So the more the merrier, and yeah, great to have everyone part of it.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ryan. Well, thank you all for giving up your evening. Really appreciate it. And I hope to see you at TakePart and get involved. So thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.